Our presentation is on attachment theory and couple conflict. I'm Ayana Moore.
And I'm Jillian Pinder.
So what is attachment theory? Our definition is a theory that whatever relationship bond we form with our most consistent caregiver will in turn affect the way that we bond with our adult intimate relationships. It should be noted that attachment styles can change over time or within different relationship groups. Today, we're going to be talking about secure, anxious, and avoidant attachment styles. Those with a secure attachment style are people who usually come from a household where their caregiver made them feel secure, loved, and confident. They usually have traits such as having a positive view of themselves and others. They feel worthy of others' love. They feel comfortable with closeness and intimacy, and they also value relationships but maintain healthy boundaries within them. Those with an anxious attachment style usually come from a household where their parent made them feel fear or anxiety, potentially from not being around or responding to their needs. They have traits such as constantly seeking reassurance, they don't handle breakups well, they can become jealous, or they can come across as clingy or needy. Those who have an avoidant attachment style usually came from a household where their caretaker was not around and they were not responsive. This caused defensiveness within the infant and an aversion to close relationships. The traits that they usually have are unsupportive, they find it hard to trust others, they can come across as cold, and they're more involved in work than they're involved with their partner. Here we have a video to summarize all that I've just said.
Here's a really simple way to explain all 4 attachment styles. What avoidant attachment boils down to is the closer that people get to me, I feel more anxious. And then anxious attachment is the further you get away from me, I feel more anxious. And even if you do get close to me, I still might not trust that I won't lose you. Okay, disorganized attachment. This one trips a lot of people up. The best way to describe this one is come here, no, go away. And then secure attachment really means that you can relax in relationships. Here's a really simple way to
How the attachment styles affect adulthood. The aspects of early caregiving relate to how we approach conflict. If a mother's sensitivity and emotional response to her children during their childhood can predict the levels of physiological arousal when they are adults, this means that individuals who are given less sensitive caregiving can have a greater response to when they are in arguments with their partner. How secure individuals approach conflict. Adults that had a secure and supportive relationship with their caregivers throughout adolescence can be more constructive when having arguments with their partner. This means they are good at strengthening security in their closest relationships, and they have a balanced approach and are likely to compromise with their partner in conflict. How anxious individuals approach conflict. Anxious individuals can be more insecure, causing them to be poorer problem solvers. These individuals will show less positive emotion and more negative emotions within conflict. They can create tension and friction in closest relationships by expressing less empathy and affection, increasing conflicts, and not willing to compromise or just completely disengaging. They could even continue to argue with their partner to get a response or just continue the argument. How avoidant individuals approach conflict. Avoidant individuals can become more disengaged, closed off emotionally, and taunting in arguments or disagreements. They will also withdraw to find safety and cope with difficult situations alone. This is because in their childhood, they could have possibly been ignored and their caregiver, so they keep their caregiver close to repress their needs, similarly to what they do in their relationships. They might say their partner is too needy or pushy, and they might make it known that they do not care after arguments or maybe even during arguments. In conclusion, early familial relationships and attachment styles can shape how individuals approach, manage, and recover from conflict in intimate relationships. And how parents treated each other and their children affect how an individual thinks, feels, and acts during relationship conflict in their adulthood. Thank you. And here are our references.